showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
You know what you're rocking to?
Rocking with the best.
Only the best. GCOM Radio.
Give me a dose of that feel good. This life been bugging me real. I mean, I'm still good. No need to talk about real problems. Out in the cope with it deal. You know. Trippin', been trippin', trippin', you know. Trippin', been trippin', trippin', been trippin', been trippin', trippin', you know. Trippin', been trippin', been trippin', oh, I'm on them down on the line, just to make it better. Oh, I'm on them down on the line, just to make it better. I'm on them down on the line, just to make it better. I'm on them down on the line. Know how to run it up real good. You giving back to the real. If these bills real, know you gon' fill it up real pills. Just hit a lick, that's a real judge. You know. Trippin', trippin', you know. Trippin', 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 you know.
I want to hear more. GCOM Radio.
Today, I'm gonna be co-hosting you for the rest of the summer.
You can't do that. You can't co-host for the rest of the summer.
But why can't I?
Wait, you can't, it's not even the summer yet. This is fall. What are you talking about for the summer? This is fall. Because you're 8 years old, you can't do that, kid. You gotta go to school.
But why? But why?
You gotta learn all that stuff. See, you gotta be book smart. All right, you want to do this?
But I'm already book smart.
Are you already book smart? You sure?
Yes, I am sure.
I know you were book smart. I know you were. Yes, my kid. She's hanging out with me a little bit just to open the show, folks. What's going on? Just say hi to the people again and tell them thank you for putting me through college. Go ahead.
Thank you for putting me through college.
You hear that, folks? So you're helping a young needy child go to school. All right, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Hope you have a fun day.
Yeah, that's my baby girl, man. That's my baby girl ringing it in for the 50th show, y'all. Yes, this is 50. I am your host, Nova Phoenix, on GCOM Radio, also on iHeartRadio. And we are on our 50th show. Yes, we are on our 50th show. That's what's up. I am very happy that we have gotten to this this length of the show, man. As long as we did, it's been I guess a little over a year now. And it's a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing that keep on finding new artists and new music and getting that thing rolling. And oh my God, and the topics that I've done. And let me tell you, man, Lyfeblood and doing GCOM Radio, I think it's a beautiful journey so far. I'm still at the very beginning of this journey. I have barely scratched the surface to what I wanted to do. But I'm here, man. I'm here. But I'm not going to do any celebrating. I'm not going to do anything like that. Nothing crazy. But I will do a celebration when I get to the 100th show. When I get to the 100th show, if I keep on doing this, let's say by next year, same time, probably November, December, I should have reached my 100th show. By then, it's gonna be beautiful, man. I think it's gonna be what's up. That's when I don't know what I'll do for the 100th show. I have no idea, but when it does come around, it's gonna be very, very exciting. It's gonna be an event turning moment in my life and others that are gonna be involved. I did not mention the artist that's for the bonus track, man. We got a lot of music gonna play this show. So we have Swanee Ivy. That was Swanee Ivy with Dr. Feelgood. He's bringing up the very front of the show with his good music, and we got a lot of other good artists that's gonna play as we go on. So what is going on? I had to go away to see some extended family renewing their vows. Yes, it was Wade and Shari. Wade and Shari renewed their vows. I think they've been together for like 20 something years, something like that. Sorry if I don't know the amount of time. Well, big shout out to Wade and Shari for renewing their vows, man. With all their family and friends there, and the kids, and and I'm seeing all the kids grow up, and I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. It's amazing. So big shout out to them for renewing their vows, man. I had a good old time. Yeah. So what else was going on this past weekend, or even this last week? Trump gets booed, man. I know everybody knows what's happened at this point. Trump got booed when he showed up to Game 5 of the World Series, Washington Nationals versus the Houston Astros, and it so happens that he recently got booed at the UFC 244 at Madison Square Garden. Why did he show up there? He said it was in an article where he finally bounced out of New York. Even the governor was like, deuces, get up out of here. And he moved down to Florida, and he was saying the reason why he moved down was because New York politicians wasn't giving him enough love. That's why he bounced out of New York to move down to down south. But I'm like, if that's the case, why'd you even show up to the MSG game? That's in the heart of New York. And lo and behold, he show up there, and he got a round of boos there too. Now, they said it wasn't as big as when he was at the Game 5 of the World Series. They had some audio, some audio visuals, or of course from someone's phone. And look, they said there was cheers. I may have heard a little bit, but the boo still was was basically drowning out the cheers. Yo, bro, don't come back to New York, man. It's a rizzy, all right? You may, if shit continues like this, you may not be able to come back to the United States of America, but probably if you hit your base, you know what I mean? And maybe you could be at home or where they at, where your base at. But yeah, that didn't work out for this dude. And what else happened? Kanye and the Sunday service. What is the deal with that? All of a sudden, people are talking about it's almost equivalent to the Fire Festival. So he does Sunday service. He just recently started doing that. Now I don't know where he be when he does this. I have no idea. But he gets his choir together and does music, and the choir is badass though. I gotta give that up to them. Shout out to the choir. I saw some video footage with them. They were on the plane and they were just doing a couple of covers of some songs, and they was blast. Let me tell you, man, when black voices get together, oh my God, it's like multiplying Patti LaBelle and all the best black singers together and just multiplying them and put them in one large group. That's what it sounds like. Jesus Christ. The soul coming off of that plane. It was oozing out the freaking cabin. But yeah, so he does Sunday service. And then the people that show up to Sunday service was complaining because they bought a $55 plate. They took a picture of it, of course, and it had like one strip of dry ass bacon, one dry ass patty, and I think like a piece of bread or something on a styrofoam plate. And they was like, I paid $55 for this, and this is what we get. It's like Five Festival 2.0. Yo, Kanye, what you doing, man? Who you doing this with? Stop doing that, man. Stop cheating the people. Stop cheating the people, man. Give them some. Look, I'm gonna do a festival. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm going to do a festival, an outdoor festival. I just want to do. I'm just gonna look. The reason why I'm doing that because there's a whole bunch of artists that have played on the show, and it'll be great to have them come together and do like a show here in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like the capital of the world. But I want to do an outdoor festival too. And let me tell you something. Is nowhere. I guarantee you, people. I swear on every ounce and every fiber of my being, I do an outdoor festival. Lyfeblood.com, GCOM Radio. I do an outdoor festival. It will not come close to what happened with the Fire Festival or with this Kanye Sunday service business with this food. Let me tell you, it's going to be straight up West Indian food, straight talk. For the first one, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be jerk chicken, oxtail, rice and peas, dumpling, escovitch fish, porridge, mixed vegetables, every which way. I'm telling you, even if I know I'm gonna lose money on the food, I want people to be satisfied with the right food. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna give y'all some bullshit, piece of bacon or dry ass cheese and bread, and I'm gonna charge astronomical amounts for it. Come on, man, stop doing that. But maybe he has an explanation for it. I don't know, but I guarantee you, wait till I have my festival. I guarantee you it ain't gonna be like that. So what else is going on? The Harriet movie. I gotta see the Harriet movie. I gotta go see it. I heard it was good. I heard it was not so good. Not so far as the way it's filmed cinematically. Sorry, my bad. Not as far as how it was filmed, but there was one piece of the film that a lot of people are, protesting against or making waves online. They're talking about there was a part where the slave master sends out bounty hunters who are black, and that slave master that grew up with Harriet had a secret love deep in his heart for Harriet and went to rescue her or something like that and shot the black bounty hunter in the head to save her. Something like that. I didn't see the film. I'm gonna have to see the film. But that was an historical inaccuracy as part of the Harriet Tubman life. And I'm not going to question it anymore. I'm going to go see the film myself. But I hate when they take their own, what they call artistical license, or they take liberties in how they want to tell a story, especially if you have the material needed from her book. I mean, come on. Anyway, I'm not going to comment any further. I'm going to go see it. So let's get to the topic. So the first segment of the show. All right. So the reason why I came up with this is because, I'm sorry, folks, if I'm speaking fast. I know I'm on the timer. The reason why that I'm talking about this one is 5 tips on life and business. 5 tips on life and business. I had a recent run-in, and it got me perturbed. It got me tight as far as how this person was handling this.
And I was just like, in my moment, I was just like, you know what? Oh my God. My heart was pumping and I was just pissed, man. I was in my car. And then, you know what? I was just thinking just like if I could give advice to someone, what would it be? So my thing is 5 tips on life and business. Number 1, 5 tips. Work with and always acknowledge others. Work with and always acknowledge others. You got to do it. There's no time in history where anybody has ever done, in human history, where anyone has ever done something by themselves and was successful. Understand what I'm saying? You always have help from other people. You always have help from other people. You never advance by yourself. I hate when people say, well, I did it on my lonely. I did it myself. No, you didn't. In your personal life, when you're coming up, when you're a young teenager, you're going into high school and in college, your friends, your parents, your family, everybody's helping you move along. In your personal life, personal choices, building your character. Everyone can say they contributed to making you the best person that you can be. All right. And it's also professionally. There's always someone that said, you know what, let me give this person a chance. All right. I see their work. I see their grind. I see their hustling. They're pushing out content. They got some good stuff. Some stuff I don't like, but yeah, they got the meat and potatoes of what they're trying to do. Someone's got to give them a chance. Big shout out to Byron Allen, him being an inspiration to that thought when he was on the Breakfast Club Power 105, and he was talking about his trials and tribulations on making moves through his career in the media entertainment field. So you never work alone. You never do. You never do. Don't ever think you the only one shooting in the gym. You know what I mean? Somebody is always giving you an opportunity to get in the door, to get into that space. All right. You did the work. You did the hard work. You were disciplined. But there's always going to be that one person or few that says, you know what, I believe in that, him or her. Come on, let's go. So always work with others and be able to acknowledge them when it's time. Number 2, work till your idols become your rivals and your friends become your haters. I swear to God, it sounds funny, but it is what it is. A lot of times I have tried to seek idols in my past. It never worked out. I never got a chance to get an idol or someone to work with. You know, what do you call them, folks? Mentors. You know, I never had that person that was going to guide me and say, hey, come along. Never did. But you know, it is what it is. Your idols are regular people. They have their flaws, they have their idiosyncrasies, and especially if they're celebrities, they're just the very same flawed people, except they're getting money and attention. You know, it's what it is. I have a number of stories that I could tell you that I won't tell you that I've gotten some bad vibes from celebrities in my past, and I've always felt, especially in my younger years, I felt like, oh man, I looked up to this person, and when I finally met him, I'm like, So don't worry about it. Never idolize your idols. Take them as they are. Take them for the work that they've created. You make your way in the business, and if they respect you, they respect you. If they don't, keep it pushing. And especially with your friends. Your friends are never, they're going to hate your progress, especially the ones that you came up with in your neighborhood. When you grind it out and you're pushing through, expect that the people that you grew up with and broke bread with and you grew up on the block, they're not going to like you. There's going to be some jealousy. There's going to be like, damn, I could have been me. Expect it. Keep it pushing. Keep your head down and work. And whatever comes from all your hard work, it is what it is. Number 3, not all close people are friends, business associates. If you shine bright, know that some people are around to siphon off that energy. Know this. They don't want to get too close to allow a buildup of a burning envy. They don't want to get too close to get that envy. They don't want to show that. But close enough where they could grab a hold of your ideas. So never expect for the people that's going to be in your inner circle, when you move about and you start climbing that ladder and you start gaining that success, that those people closest to you have your best interest at heart. Never have a yes man. A yes man will lead you down the wrong path. A yes man is like a drug. Anything you say, he's going to say yes to and big you up. He will say yes to you right into your grave. Have people that are honest around you. They're going to build you up. They're going to tell you no. They're going to tell you, I advise against that. Because the honest people will keep you sharp and will keep you from falling in a bear trap. And those yes people, those people that they latch onto you, they be like, yeah, it's cool. All they siphoning your energy, man. You're a shining star. You're a shining star. You shine bright, and people want they want that. There are people that are leeches and will suck the very life out of you, and will see you start to whimper a little bit. But they don't care, because as long as they're getting that energy from you, getting those ideas and doing their own thing, trust me, they are no good for you. So recognize it. See the individuals for what they are. Take the time. Are they giving you or being objective individuals in your life? If all they're doing is saying yes, or all they're doing is being in your circle and seeing what you're doing, and you can see them taking, cut them off, And sometimes it is what it is. People just gonna watch what you're doing, right? Let them watch what you're doing. And if they want to get some ideas of you from far away, fine. But don't let them be in your 5 foot, inner circle, man. Number 4, family and friends are not your customers. Family and friends are not your customers. Let me say that again. Family and friends are not your customers, okay? They will support you. They will support you, as I said in number 1. They will support you at the very beginning. But don't expect your family and friends, close friends, to be the individuals that's going to prop up your business, all right? So you got to stop. At certain points, you have to stop talking to your family, and you have to stop talking to your closest friends. You have to get out there in the world. You got to promote your brand, promote yourself, promote your product, promote your service to strangers. Wherever you may go, whether you're going to an event, you're going to an investor meeting, whether you're going to a party, you have your cards, you have yourself, you have your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever social media, get that out there. Talk to strangers, total strangers. It's those total strangers are they going to see your product, not you when you were 5 years old or 8 years old, not you when you had your fingers in your nose, not you when you spilled your bowl of cereal, not you when you goofed up in high school or grade school. Those are the people, your family, your friends. Unfortunately, they're going to see you as that, as, you know what I'm saying, little Derek or whatever that did his thing. You got to go to total strangers with all they know is your product, and you got to pump to them. Because again, you're not going to sell to your family and friends, because if you want to be a multi-whatever heir, you're gonna talk to, there's 50 million strangers in this country. You got to get to know each and every one of them, as much of them as possible. Stop talking to your family and friends about every move that you make in business. Move in silence. Put them on at dinner every once in a while, when they see your work. But don't always don't let them be the first people that you go to when you're making a new move. Trust me on this, because all they're gonna do is see the flawed human being that you are, and they're coming from a biased perspective on a level that's too personal. So that's why I say go to strangers. Last thing, don't expect yes. Expect to surround yourself in the nose. You're gonna be immersed. You're gonna be drowning in the nose when you first start out. And not just when you first start out, but as you're going through the business, you're going to be surrounded in those. People are just going to be batting those at you. They're going to be swinging. They're going to be tossing curveballs on those at you. No. I'm telling you, they're going to be taught, because they don't know you. All right. Even if your stuff is good, they don't know you. Unless your stuff is that good, and like, I want you to. But usually people are just, especially the older you get, you're a little bit more skeptical. All right. You're a little bit more hardened. And they're going to be like, nah. But keep on grinding. Keep on grinding, moving. And expect to get those no's. And treat those no's like raindrops. You're going to get hit with rain, man. But you know what happens? Eventually the rain stops. You know what I mean? Eventually the rain stops. You go under an umbrella, or you go under some cover. The sun is going to peek out in between those gray clouds, and you're going to be hit with sun rays. So expect to get those no's like it's coming down like a monsoon. It's just what it is in this business as you go about the business. But you will get that one yes that'll take you over that mountaintop. It'll bring you into that promised land. That one, all it takes is that one yes. So if you're really good at what you do, you're really passionate about what you want to do, Go for it. Keep going. Keep going. And as I said before, I said it on my IG, there's a bunch of sneakers out there, man. There's tons of sneakers out there. But if you feel that you want to have your own sneaker, go ahead, do it. If you feel that you can make a mark in that industry, go ahead, do it. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let your friends, man, what are you doing? That's corny. Nah. If that's what you want to be the next Nike, next Adidas, do it and make it happen in whatever ways that you can. Okay, man. So I guess that's my 5 tips. I went through that quick. All right, so let's get into these artists now that we have for this week for the 50th show. We have Sharlene, and this is a special one because it's my first how should I say it? A Latin song, a Latina song, a song from a Latina, and it's straight Espanol. So I love the song when I heard it. This song is called Aerophobia. So hopefully all my Latina or Latinx listeners that you will appreciate this song. And then right after Sharlene is Savion Saddam. His song is Mud. This is raw. First time I heard him, I thought of Tone Loc. My man got a real rough, gravelly voice. And I think, I know you'll love this song. So Sharlene with Aerophobia, and then we'll follow it up with Savion Saddam with Mud. All right, check it.
Watch your luggages. Hold the handrail. Mind your step.
Hey, turn it up. GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
No es que no quiera volar ese avión, es que tengo las alas rotas, es que me da la sensación de que puede que me estrelle con la vida y salga herida. Puede que otro punto de partida sea mi salida. Ya no tengo hilo pa' coserme tantas veces. Dicen que las personas tienen lo que se merecen y yo no he hecho daño, pero a quién engaño. La vida es injusta cuando sobran tantos jueces. Siempre te van a criticar, pero eso no importa, ya me da igual. Yo no soy perfecta y eso no me afecta, porque solo soy un ser humano normal. Suave, cautela, respira y suelta, que todo llega cuando no lo esperas, no lo esperas. Suave, cautela, respira y suelta, que todo llega cuando no lo esperas, no lo esperas. Puede que me estrelle con la vida y salga herida. Puede que otro punto de partida sea mi salida. Puede que haya mucha turbulencia y tenga que hacer aterrizajes de emergencia. Sé que esto del amor es un desgaste de paciencia, pero ¿de qué sirve un viaje si no se gana experiencia? Suave, cautela, respira y suelta, que todo llega cuando no lo esperas, no lo esperas. Suave, cautela, respira y suelta, que todo llega cuando no lo esperas, no lo esperas. Charlene, yeah.
Oh man,
Check this out.
we're going in with another one.
It's on.
GCOM Radio.
I had to get it out the mud, my nigga. Straight up. Come on. I done got that out the mud, ho. I done got that out the mud, ho. Watch me get it out the mud, ho. I went and got it out the mud, ho. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. I went and got it out the mud, ho. Nigga wanna kick it, what the fuck for? If it ain't about $1 like Creflo, I ain't tryna hear it, bitch, I'm on that petrol. Cookies and Gorilla Glue. Tryna watch how these killers move. Tryna pay attention who I'm dealing to. And jump up out the streets with a mill or two. I done got it out the mud, ho. With that street money like I'm bankroll. Country bucking, stunting, getting plenty money. Straight from the bonus, bitch, I come from nothing. I done got it out the mud, ho. I done got it out the mud, ho. Watch me get it out the mud, ho. I went and got it out the mud, ho. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. I done got it out the mud, ho. Came up in the streets, shit cutthroat. If you try to flex, you getting stuck, ho. If you pull it out, you better bust, ho. Send me automatic. Ain't send you, I'll let you have it. Trigger happy old country nigga. Niggas talk shit, but they ain't fucking with them. I done got it out the mud, ho. Killed the blue flame, shout out Shorty Low. Country bucking, stunting, spending plenty money. Straight from the bonus, bitch, I come from nothing. I done got it out the mud, ho. I done got it out the mud, ho. Watch me get it out the mud, ho. I went and got it out the mud, ho. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top. Started from the bottom, now we at the top.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
All right, that was Sharlene with Aerophobia and Savion Saddam with Mud. I know you like that Savion joint. So big ups to him and to Sharlene making their moves in their musical careers. So for the second segment, what we have going on, and matter of fact, wait a second, I almost forgot before I continue. You know what the segment is? Business of the Week. All right, so let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, for that girl.
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders. It's what you've been waiting for.
Ever heard of Raycon earbuds? We all know Beats by Dre are great headphones. There are many that have followed up to copy the success of Dr. Dre, hip-hop producer, and the purchase of said product by Apple, but none has quite hit the mark like Beats by Dre. However, there is one headphones that has hit the market with a quiet rise. It's Raycon Global. Started by R&B singer Ray J, Raycon Global has ventured into the earbud market. Initially, he got into an electric bike called Scoot E-Bike. He later sold that to a Canadian business for 7 figures. Now he's into earbuds. By doing a $31 million distribution deal with Cowboy Wholesale, together they have stepped into the earbud sound game as well as working on smartwatches and drones. Ray J is fast becoming the next big thing in consumer electronics. Congrats to this gentleman and his whole team. See rayconglobal.com for more info. Yeah, all right. So, so let's get going with the second segment. This second segment is Poverty Line and Ukraine. You know, I was thinking about Ukraine. It's all in the news, of course, with the whole thing with Trump messing with Ukraine and, trying to get some dirt on Biden's son and him holding off the assistance or the aid that they were going to give Ukraine, and basically hold it as a carrot to see if he could get some dirt on Biden, and the whole thing with the impeachment thing. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. All right, with Trump, it's been talked about, so we all know the deal with that. But what really got me thinking was the amount of aid that was going to go to Ukraine, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money that goes in. And it got me thinking a little bit further as far as the world aid that America gives. And I did a little research, and I'm like, wow, America gives tons of money in aid, financial aid or military, whatever however the money is used, to several different countries. And people may argue, oh, this is a problem, giving money to this country. I can understand why. All right. Being devil's advocate here. America gives aid to other countries because it solidifies or establishes their position within the region. If it's not them, it's going to be the Russians. If not the Russians, the Chinese. If not the Chinese, some other group that's going to sway political influence and dominance in that region. So, of course, America is going to be like, hey, man, how about I give you some of this money right here? I'll throw some your way. Just make sure you help me when I need it. I get it. I get it. But what the thing is happening is that we have an expanding wealth gap in this country. And not just an expanding wealth gap in this country, but we have plenty of working poor people here that are living from check to check, don't know where they're going to get the next meal. They have poor health care. They don't like their jobs, and they're basically just being left to the wayside. And that was a lot of what Trump was tapping into when he was running his campaign for the 2016 election. That's what he kind of took advantage of by taking advantage of people's frustration and anger and desperate mood of how they feel the country was going. And of course, he also played he used a race card as well for that. But then I did a little research as far as the poverty line, and it says, and I found this on, okay, Nova, where'd you get your source from? Well, this is right off census.gov. Interesting. You could Google it yourself if you want to research the poverty line, and they actually have a document that you can download and read yourself. It's called Income and Poverty in the United States 2018. All right, it's on census.gov, and they say in 2018 there were 38.1 million people in poverty, approximately 1.4 million fewer people in 2017. And they're saying between 2017 and 18, people aged 25 and older with a high school diploma was the only examined group to experience an increase in their poverty rate. Among this group, the poverty rate increased 1.4 percentage points to 25.9%, but the number in poverty was not statistically different from 2017. So we have roughly about 38.1 million people living in poverty. Interesting. So we can't do anything about these people that are living in trailer homes, living in the projects, and just, wasting away their lives, whether they're working off the government. And I'm not a big believer in welfare. I understand it, but a lot of people have kind of taken advantage of welfare, and I'm not a big supporter of it. Because there are a lot of people that are career welfare recipients, and it doesn't do them any good, or their kids. That's a whole nother discussion. So my thing is, with the millions and millions and millions of dollars that are going to foreign aid, you mean we can't find money to help people get out of their financial condition? Now, Trump talked about a lot where he was going to clear the swamp in DC. Of course, we know, any small person knows that this was a load of shit. I knew it was a load of shit when he was talking about that mess, but he didn't do anything. He was a swamp. So it fails me. And it's just not Trump. It's just presidents. It's Obama included. It's the Clinton, it's Reagan, everyone. And pretty much everyone down the line where we have this exploding poverty rate. Everybody talks a good game, but we still have the same problem. We care about Americans, right? We're patriotic, right? I don't understand. So I went to go check what was how much aid that the United States was given to foreign countries. So where's my source? I went to CFR.org. What's CFR? The Council of Foreign Relations. Dun, dun, dun. Everybody's, all those tinfoil hat wearing people that be like, the Council of Foreign Relations has been, they've been involved with a lot of dastardly things. But yeah, I went to the Council of Foreign Relations site. It's public information, and when you go there, it gives you a rundown of foreign aid. And what's foreign aid? It was started in 1961 Foreign Aid Assistance Act. These resources include not just goods and funding, but also technical assistance, educational program, healthcare, and other services. This is all on the CFR.org. So I checked that out, and what did I see here? I think they do have a form here, or a document, a PDF document. But I don't think I downloaded it. I thought I opened this already. Let's just go. Okay, they give a lot of aid, right? So we'll skip over it because I looked at that in the Council of Foreign Relations, but I wanted to further breakdown of foreign relations. So of course I go to good old Wikipedia.org. Basically, it's United States foreign aid. So there is a list here on how much aid the United States is giving to other countries. So in the billions. Now it's broken down in this table: economic and military assistance, aid received per capita, economic assistance, and then you have military assistance. So it's economic and military, and it's broken apart. So Afghanistan gets $5 billion. $5 billion. $1 billion is in financial, and $4 is in military. And we have Iraq, $3 billion. All right. We have about 700 in economic, and we have $2 billion in military assistance. We have Jordan. We have $1 billion. All right. In total, $1.5 billion. $1 billion goes in economic assistance, $473 million in military assistance. Let's run down. We got Egypt, we got Ethiopia, we got Kenya, we got South Sudan, Syria, Nigeria, Pakistan, Uganda, Tanzania, Yemen, Somalia, Mozambique, Colombia, South Africa, Ukraine, Lebanon, and Congo. Man, that is a lot of money. All right, and it runs down, of course, billions, hundreds of millions. So the lowest one is the Congo. They get about, in total, 493 million, 6 million in, 489 million in financial assistance, and about 4 million in military assistance. Wow, interesting. So America has an ability to give billions of dollars in total that I just named off. And the lower ones go from 900 million in total to down to 493. So we're giving away billions of dollars to set up strategic positioning around the globe. Yet we have, what did I say before? 38.1 million people living in poverty in this country. So you mean to tell me one of those countries that the United States gets or gives aid to, you mean they can't take one? Let's say, for instance, the lowest one is the Congo. The lowest one in the Congo, they get $489 million in economic assistance. Wow. So a fraction of that, a quarter of that, less than a quarter, if you could just give $1 million to tax-free to 38 million people, is this not possible? If you could give damn near $500 million to a foreign country, you can't piece off the American people $1 million a piece. And some may say, oh, Nova, what are you talking about? $1 million, we're just going to give away free money. Slow your roll. I'm just using that as an example. How about free college and university attendance? Why not, right? $100,000 in total. All right. I mean, is that possible? How about starting a financial assistance program? Not welfare, a financial assistance program, a program that provides people with a means to live while they take educational job training programs so they can transition into 21st century jobs. How about that? So you mean to tell me, out of all those countries that I just said, they get a range of hundreds of millions of dollars, the top ones that get in billions. You mean to tell me if America has a poverty problem and they can identify 38 million people, definitely, without a doubt, there's 38 million people that are living below the poverty line, living in poverty. You mean we can't take some money and figure out our poverty problem? It is not a problem. Finding solutions to the poverty problem in America is not a problem. It's human will is the problem. It's corruption is a problem, and greed is a problem. Because of course, if you're setting up if you're strategically positioning yourself around the globe, you know what this means. It's resources and oil and money, all these things, right? It's coming into the States. It all gets funneled to the United States. But if all of this benefit and resource-rich countries and in whatever capacity that benefit the United States is coming towards the United States, where's that money going? Where's all that benefit going? And how come it's not getting distributed to the people? This is just, if you just sit back, turn off the TV, turn off all the media, whatever, and use critical thinking. And a lot of it is just common sense and simple numbers. And you do the research online. Let me see this. You could go to the official websites and see the difference, the stark difference on where money is going and where money is coming back, who's getting it and who not getting it. Understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, these are the questions that we have to ask our local politicians, our federal, our politicians on a federal level. These are the things that we have to ask. Because if all this money, if you're able to find all this money and throw it all around the world, how come you can't find out the poverty problem or fix the poverty problem in the United States of America? I want the American people to ask that. Ask, please. I want you to ask. Because right now I got a bunch of questions. Yeah, so that was a topic. What do you think, you guys? You tell me. You're sitting in your cars and you're at home and you're in the barber shops, you're in the beauty shops. You tell me. You hit me up and let me know. Better yet, why don't you hit up your senator in your state and you let them know? Huh? All right, let's go into the next songs. We have Naomi Cowan. Naomi Cowan, we played her before. And we're playing it again. She has a song called Gold. It's actually off a reggae compilation album called Rasta Soul Rhythm with Upsetter Records in Loud City. So check out Naomi Cowan, and we're going to bring Miknna. What's up, y'all? They had their song Summertime Shine on the show before, but we got a new one. It's a little older song, but when I heard it, I reached out to them and said I would love to play it. It's MPH. So check out Naomi Cowan with Gold and Miknna, MPH. All right, listen
up. In this time of great darkness, the light is in you and me. Reject every false prophet. Speak the truth and we will see. Maybe it is gold. This life that you're living, you've been chosen. No, I'm telling you it's gold. Take nothing for granted, it is yours. And time to live it up. The power is inside you, baby, live it up. Use the vision highly, it's time to live it up. Go beyond what I see, time to live it up. Gold. If I had one day, I'd spend it, I'd lend it, I'd give it away. Only had 1 cent, you know I let it go, it come back tenfold. And if I had one wish, we'd be a movement, a force and a strength. It's up to you and me, yeah. Bring the up full energy. Gold.
Listen up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
No one telling you it's gold. Take nothing for granted, it is yours. And time to live it up. The power is inside you, baby, live it up. Use the vision highly, it's time to live it up. Go beyond what I see, time to live it up. Go in this time.
life that you're living, you've been chosen. No, I'm telling you, it's gone. Nothing for granted. Time to live it up. Time to live it up. Baby, live it up. The power is inside of
On the #1 podcast platform in the world, GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
One-on-one, you know it's for sure. Stay classy like you, Santiago. Yeah, I only call when I need you. Yeah, I haven't been in a while, so drifting off in no destinations. Rolling sun is glowing off the PCA. Don't worry about the UPA. I don't mind if you smoke, I lay back in that zone. Girl, you know that I don't wanna desert you. You wanna have it your way. You want something more official. I say we just keep it the same. She moves, 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 she moves. Moon and the stars on their way. You and foreign. See, moon and the stars on our way. It's just you and foreign. Tell me what you're waiting for. Tell me what I've got to prove with you. Got my head in the clouds and soaking the sun out, racking the mileage with you. Top is down, cruising, speeding through PV. Heighten my senses just to feel seasons. I can smell perfume, I can smell Riesling. High behind lenses, hopping out, gleaming, shining. You in your prime, better with age, girl, don't look at the time. Let me unwind with you, been in wine for two. Looking for signs from you, let me align. Girl, you know that I don't wanna desert you.
You know what you're rocking to?
Rocking with the best.
Only the best. GCOM Radio.
Something more official. I say we just keep it the same.
Yeah, that was Naomi Cowan with Gold and Miknna with MPH. Two great songs, man. Yeah, Naomi. I'm looking to see to do a interview with Naomi, man. That would be tight. And also with Miknna, but Naomi first because I see that, I mean, I don't know. I like Naomi. I've been to one of her shows. She was in Brooklyn, and it'd be great to get an interview with her. I'm gonna see about reaching out and see having that happen. And I know I don't do a lot of celebrity interviews. I really don't. It's just been like, I just don't do celebrity interviews. It's just I just don't like doing it. Not that I have a big problem with it, but a lot of times, let's just say artists are busy. I'm gonna leave it at that. Artists are busy and they're doing their thing, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's why I try to focus on Lyfeblood topics, or any topics that are related to Lyfeblood, or just chatting with you guys about different things that are happening. And when it happens, it happens. I don't really stress it. But before we get into the next topic, of course, we got to get into the news you need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
The Keystone Pipeline breaks. The Keystone Pipeline that was the focus of the news some time ago is in the news again. This time is about what so many Native Americans and many others were protesting about originally. The pipeline broke. It broke and spilled over 350,000 gallons of oil in roughly an acre of wetland. Carl Rockman, the director of the State Department of Environmental Quality, says that the leak was contained and is one of the largest spills created in the state, and no homes were affected by the spill. The State Department is establishing air, water, and wildlife monitoring to know the extent of the damage in the region. Rockman said in a statement the break occurred at another part of the Keystone Pipeline and not where the protest was directing its focus along the 1,100-mile-long run called the Keystone XL Pipeline. An oil spill happened previously in 2017, which spilled 407,000 gallons of crude oil that covered lands in South Dakota's rural area. When we learn our lesson. Virtual restaurants on the rise? Think of a pizza restaurant with a few tables and chairs with a variety of different pizzas. Can you imagine in the back of the kitchen, cooks also making dishes for 4 other virtual restaurants that get their food delivered by Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats? This trend is steadily growing where ghost restaurants, quote unquote, are being made just for door-to-door food delivery. David Porter-Lawton, a food industry advisor for the NPD Group, says this online ordering market has grown to $26.8 billion. Digital orders have exploded from 5% of a restaurant's orders to 20% each year. Walk-in visits have remained flat. Chick-fil-A, the Halal Guys, and Doghouse are a few businesses that are getting into the game. DoorDash starting the trend, first with the Halal Guys. They opened a big red kitchen in Redwood, California, offering delivery and pickup with 13 suburban Bay Area markets. Grubhub and Uber Eats say they're helping small restaurant businesses grow. One Brooklyn restaurant owner named Rick Scott attests to this claim. His business started to stutter. After talking with Uber Eats, he started some serious traction. Now he has totally reinvented his business plan and makes additional foods for his local market. His business? Garism Burger Factory on Uber Eats. Don't get too excited. There have been some businesses that failed. Maple and Pilot Works. They state from not getting sufficient financial backing, high food waste, and competition being the cause. A person close to Maple's business said, part of what made it really challenging and really one of the things we ran into that was difficult was it's a very competitive industry. And frankly, people in the industry treat the workers like shit. They tried to structure what should have been a food group as a tech company, the person added. It's a different kind of business than a lot of these people are used to investing in. Something to think about if you decide to go into this business. And that is the news you need to know. Yeah, so let's go. Let's finish out the show with the last segment. I was supposed to write notes for it, but I forgot to write notes for this joint. So I'm just going to fly off at the top of the head. Yeah, so the last segment was the business you need to know was, what was going on with this ghost restaurant business. Well, I read that and I was interested in, I've never heard of it. First time I'm hearing about it. It's been going on for a while. And, you're making food for other people. I was still trying to grasp get my head around. So you have this kitchen, and now that you're working with Uber Eats and these other companies that started these ghost kitchens. So basically these, kitchens will ask you to make their food in this kitchen for all types of restaurants. And so I'm supposed to get my favorite West Indian joint food from that place. And so it could be delivered, being that they don't do deliveries of their own. So they supposed to give their recipes over to, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that sounds a little intrusive because certain recipes are secrets, right? That's what I'm thinking. But what really grabbed me was what one of the people that were associated with this ghost restaurant called Maple or Maples or whatever it was called, how that one line where they say it's a very competitive industry and frankly people in the industry treat their workers like shit. And I'm like, I keep on hearing this. And my thing is, I like all these companies that are coming out now, doing these amazing, innovative things and making our lives easier, faster. It's revolutionizing certain industries. People are afraid because a lot of people might lose jobs. Like people are afraid of Uber, and they were protesting in Canada, and they were protesting in France, and they're taking our jobs, blah 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 blah. So, a lot of these things are good, right? It's just what comes with the game that you're going to upset certain markets, and that's what happens all the time. That's the nature of the business, right? Somebody's going to come along, do a product better, and the old ways of doing it goes away. All right, that's just what happens. But one thing that I never could really handle was how a lot of these companies are coming out with these amazing ideas, and they're basically turning them into apps. So, but then at the same time, the people that are working for these apps are being shortchanged. They're being shortchanged, and they're not making enough money. And these businesses on record on online, before they go IPO, they're making like millions of dollars a year, and they're making record profits. And it's this new thing that's really taking the world by storm. And these CEOs and founders are like smiling and laughing and, glad handing the reporters writing these articles for these major magazines. And yet all of a sudden you work your way down the ladder, and the people that's driving the profits for these new innovative businesses are getting the short end of the stick. Like Mabel, I'm like, really? The person said a lot of people, this industry, well, it's just not that industry. Like the Uber drivers were upset about what was happening. All right. I mean, like, that's not what tech companies are supposed to do. They're supposed to improve our lives, but we're not supposed to carry on oppression or carry on perpetuating the wealth gap or the wage gaps that are happening, that people are complaining about now, even in the traditional sense of how business go. You're not supposed to sophisticate oppression. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to streamline ways on how you can allow people to pinch more pennies in order for you to make a whole lot of money. It's supposed to improve people's lives. Make it, in that sense. Like, oh, wow, that's a great app. Let me use that app. Oh, I could do business on this app and make some money. It's supposed to actually improve lives. But all of a sudden, all we're doing is making it more slick and making oppression more palatable, or put it in a 21st century package. Because I was in an Uber, I was going to the airport, and the guy was like, he makes all right. He has to work 10, 12-hour days. And I'm like, well, that's kind of like working a regular traditional 9-to-5 job, which is never really 9 to 5. We're working 10, 12-hour days at most, most of the time on average. So he has to do 10, 12-hour days, and he has a new kid. It's 3 months old. And he quit his trucking job, and look at that. Look, he's a trucker, and that's a double whammy. So we already know that the trucking industry is going to get automated. So down the line, this young man, I can't even say he's a young man. He's probably like in his mid-30s. Right? And he had his first kid, and now he's going to deal with the trucking industry. He was trucking for 13 years. And I'm like, wow, bro. I didn't even want to get into conversation and depress the guy. But now, because he has a kid, he drives Lyft. He does Lyft, and he does his thing. He makes his money, I don't know how well he does. He didn't go into detail. But then all these things that are happening where I'm reading about this ghost restaurant delivery service, and then with Uber, and I'm like, all we're doing is we're sophisticating the way we shortchange people. And I don't think that's where it's supposed to go. And a lot of people say, all right, stop your naivete, Nova. I'm like, I'm not saying I'm naive. I know how business goes. I understand the concept. But at the same time, it's supposed to open doors for the people that use these new technologies, these new softwares, these new apps. And it's also supposed to improve the condition of the people that are using it as business. You know what I mean? It's the same thing what's going on for even Instagram. A lot of people, these Instagram models and stuff, they're selling, these like, what they call slim tummy teas. It's kind of foolish, all right? Because it's false advertising. No tea is going to flatten your stomach. But other these IG models are finding ways to make money, and figuring that away. But now, it's almost like IG is limiting people's reach now. I'm like, wait a second. You wanted people to get on IG, to use your platform, to use your app in order to share pictures with their friends. It so turned out that it's not just with their friends. It's reaching thousands of people, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And people are making businesses out of posting pictures on your platform. But now what I'm hearing is you're limiting people's ability to reach people. Now they've done it to me, right? I'm promoting on IG, and then all of a sudden they're a variety of different ways where they're saying, oh, you can't promote here, you can't promote that, that's too much cleavage, that's too much, that's too political, you're doing this, it sounds like you're insinuating that. I'm like, all right, just chill, what the fuck, man? All right? And then you have a tons of people. It's crazy. It's crazy. And my thing is, you can't put out a fresh new service to the audience or to the world. It becomes more than what you initially invented it for. And now it's much bigger. It's a global influence in a myriad of different ways and different facets. Now all of a sudden you're saying, no, you got to limit people's reach. Well, wait a second. Whoa. No, man. That's not what this is about. We're entering into an age where people are able to have access to finance, access to each other, access to information, access where before there was access, but it was limited. It was controlled by a few. But what the internet is doing is opening up those doors. Instead of it being by a few people, it's opening the doors where everybody can have access to each other. And it's not limited to a small group of folk. But, well, you know how that goes. All right? Whoa, wait a second. You can't have too much access. And you can't just have willy-nilly access. It's got to be through us. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. We're entering into the decentralized age. And you can't control it. I think the internet is like the ocean. You could put up dams. You could put up levees. You could put up any man-made obstacle to try to block the ocean. But at the end of the day, a big-ass storm comes by. There's nothing humans can make that's going to hold back the ocean. It'll break the levees. It'll break the dams. It will go through mountains. It will wash out whole communities. That's what the internet is. And the internet, I think what we're doing is we're playing parlor tricks with the internet. And they're attempting to control it, but the internet's so wide and vast, you would literally have to shut people off. Just turn it off. That's what certain people want to do. Just turn it off. But you can't do that because the economy is tied into the internet. Like it's like almost like a movie. Like you put a movie out, all of a sudden it's being shared on several different portals, and they try to these companies, the agencies will try to come in and shut it down, the music or the movies or whatever. No, take it down. You can't, because where you shut down one, another one pops up. Where you shut down two, 5 pops up. Where you think you can control it on this website, all of a sudden you could do it like this. You cannot control it. And it's funny how people are being abused, we're continuing financial oppression through these websites. Nah, man. I think we have an ability to create companies that can be equitable for everybody. Stop expecting it to come from whatever source. All right. If you feel that you have an idea that you could get out there that could benefit not just you as an individual with business, but it could benefit society, talk to the people around you, get it out there, set up your platform, set up your product or service, and open it up to people. And if you have an opportunity where you're making millions of dollars, give people a living wage in order for them to live. And I know it's simpler. It sounds simpler than it sounds. It's simpler than it sounds. But I'm saying, if you all of a sudden you're making $5 million a year, you know, you're not going to just have 50 employees. Have 5 employees, 10 employees. Most businesses that run local economies are small businesses. It's not these huge mega conglomerates. It's the mom and pop joints. You can have a mom and pop online where you can reach a couple of hundred, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands. You don't need 1 million people to buy a product, just like any other store. You go to a pizzeria joint, it's the same people that come into that pizzeria. That's patronizing the business. It's the same number of people over and over again. How much they get? 5,000, 10,000 rotation on average. They don't have to have the whole of Brooklyn come in and patronize their business. It doesn't. All they need is to have a couple of thousand people, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 a month, X amount of slices per person, you know, family, buying pizza, whole box. Yeah, they can sustain themselves. It's the same thing with the internet. All you need is a couple of hundred. Now, of course, you're reaching a wider market instead of foot traffic. This is tens of hundreds of thousands, millions of people you're being exposed to. And all you got to do is present your product and service and be able to live. You shouldn't be take part of Uber or Lyft and work pennies. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. If these companies are making millions and millions of dollars per quarter, and these CEOs or founders or shareholders are making like these huge bonuses on annual, why? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? All we're doing is sophisticating oppression. We're making it slicker. We're streamlining it. You know, we're digitizing it in code. That's what we're doing. We cannot move into the 21st century exploiting people. You know what I mean? We can't move into the 21st century taking advantage of folks where, you know, hey man, it's like making music. All right, well, I have no choice but to go to a record label because I don't have the means or the money to produce this record, literally on vinyl, on wax. I have to go to a record company. And then if it wasn't a big record company, it was like a smaller boutique that had access to distribution, and they'll press up your record. So you had no choice. But now in the internet, in the 21st century, you can make your record, you can make your whole album, your EP, your LP, whatever, put it on YouTube, boom, people are exposed to it. You have your website, people download your music or whatever like that, or part of Lyfeblood, you know, dollar power. Lyfe music. Music Life. Okay? Well, you just make it available to people and say, hey, this is what I'm selling it for. Boom, 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 boom. So I just find it funny how, you know, all these new ideas are turning into apps and then people are still getting exploited. Like, really? Anyway, that's just my thought off the top of the head. So thank you guys for listening to me again for one more week. Yes, it is the 50th show. We are at the 50th show, and I enjoyed this one. It was near and dear to my heart. Much love to my daughter that opened the show for me. Love you, baby girl. Put her through college, y'all. Put her through college. So we'll see. Let's do more shows. Let's crank it out every week. And then by next year, let's see if we can do the 100th show. And we'll do something special. And I'll let you know. Of course, I'm going to be doing things way before that happens for the 100th show. As far as the events are concerned, I want to do a little. But as far as how it's going to work out, I don't know. And we'll see. I want to see if I can do something different. So thank you guys for listening. I'm out. And I'll see you. I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, then. Peace.
Check it. You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community. We worldwide, baby. See you in the next go round. From right here to your town. We out.